Hi, grade 8s. Welcome back to the Band Lab. I'm excited to be instructing you again and taking you through something slightly new but not necessarily unfamiliar. It can be a little bit complicated what we're about to do, but as long as you have the basics, you will be good. So, open up your Band Lab, make sure it's on Google Chrome, otherwise, you will get unnecessary problems. Then click on your mix editor, or if I've already posted the assignment, click on the assignment and it'll take you to your mix editor. And let's click that up. All right. So while it's loading, I just want to give you a quick brief. What we've been doing for the last term and even for the beginning of this term in our groups. Or just a quick one. We're doing this individually. So we are done with our collaborations for now. And it was really cool listening to some of your works when you're working together. Hopefully you and your teammate worked really well and you can now see the advantages and disadvantages of being in a team. And that was a very real life world scenario because the world is changing. In fact, it changed even before all of this stuff happened because people would be collaborating with people all over the world who were in different time zones and they were doing a project and those projects needed to be done by a specific point in time. And so they relied on other people. So that is why these collaborations are very practical and go way beyond music because we're talking about like computer programming where you're writing code, then you're waiting for your friend all the way in Tokyo to finish up his code and you have to wait for the next 6 hours till he gets that done. Then you send it to your other person in Brazil who's going to process it and make sure it fits with all the user interface stuff. So that was a very practical real life scenario on how collaborations work and it will definitely come again, maybe not in the context of music, but in the context of you in your work life or you doing collaborations with partners all over the world. So, enough on that. What we've been doing is we've been focusing a lot on using pre-made samples, pre-made tracks that we then implement into our own music, into our own song. So I want you to think of two different characters. In the fashion industry, you have your designer and you have your stylist. Now, let's say if you are a celebrity, let's say you're the next hottest thing because you've been creating crazy music on the Band Lab, everyone's heard about you, you've published your tracks and everyone loves it. Now, you need an outfit. So what's going to happen? You're not going to call your designer, you're going to call your stylist because your stylist already knows all the pieces that go well together. So they're going to have a big, wide collection in their wardrobe or they're going to come into your wardrobe and pick out clothes that you already have. Shirts that you already have, pants that you already have, shoes that you already have, necklaces and earrings that you already have. And then they're going to put them on you and try and make it look good on you. So what they're doing is they've taken things already there and they're styling you up. So that's the point of a stylist. However, a designer doesn't really have these things. What they have is raw materials. So what they'll have is the fabric. So whether it will be cotton, nylon, polyester, if it will be silk, they have the different colors, whether it's red, blue, yellow, and then they probably have the red, blue, or yellow coloring on that fabric. And then they would have to take their tools and knit it together to actually make that fabric. So they have a lot of raw materials and they make stuff from those raw materials. So from the yarn and with their needle and thread or their tailoring machine, they make a shirt, they make pants. If they're a shoe cobbler, they will make shoes. And so what a designer does is take raw materials, use their tools to make something. The stylist then takes that something the designer has made and then styles it up on the person that is going to use it. So for the last term, and even in our collaborations, what we've been doing is we've been playing the role of the stylist because all our tracks and samples have already been there. However, today, for the next 4 weeks, we are going to be playing the role of the designer because we're going to take raw materials, we're going to use our tools to create something. So we're literally going down into the small little details of it and where little room for error cannot really be allowed because one small bit of an error and then that fabric is just going to fall apart or it just won't fit right or it just won't look right and we don't want that. So you definitely need to have a bit of an eye on detail on this one. So we've played the role of the stylist, now we're in the designer. So hopefully you have your Band Lab opened up. Click on Drum Machine. Right there. And what you'll see is it'll show you the drum machine you're using. So right now we have an 808 kit, which is just an old like 90s drum machine, which is electronic. And then we have a bunch of patterns here. We have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. And so in A, what we have is already a bunch of different colors on these different symbols over here. And I'll explain that right now. And so if I click on A, we have this pattern. If I click on B, we have this pattern. The dots are changing, but C, D, E, F, G, and H are all blank. Okay. All right. So with all of these different things, what we have here is our drum kit. And these are different parts of our drum kit. I will explain this now, but I'll also put another video that I want you to watch just so you can actually see the pieces of the drum kit and so that you can know which part is which and what sounds like what, just in case. It's a short video, so just take your time to watch that, okay? Now, let's hear how this actually sounds. All right, that's fine. That's cool. That's our drum beat on pattern A. So what we have here is we have our drum machine where we program the loop, the drum beat that we're going to use, and then we can add it over here. Okay, so right now it has drum machine A, drum machine B. So this is where we create it, and this is where we post it. So let's see how it sounds when it's posted. So now it's changed to drum machine B, the B pattern. All right, cool. Now, if I want to stop that, one thing you'll probably find a bit confusing is sometimes you can press the space bar and it'll play what you've programmed down over here. And sometimes you can press, if you click over here and you press the space bar, it will play up over here. So make sure you know where you've clicked so that you're not getting frustrated and saying, I've clicked here, but it's not playing. Just know where you've clicked. All right. So before we even start programming anything, we need to first know how to understand our beats. We've done this before, but it doesn't hurt to take another look at it. So each of these, so notice these different shades. This one's gray, this one's a dark gray, light gray, dark gray. Each of these represent our beats. So we have beat 1 over here, beat 2 over here, beat 3 over here, beat 4 over here. And each new beat starts where the color shade changes. So beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4. In between those beats, we have other things. So let's say this is my beat. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, if I want to put an and, so let me actually use this hi-hat as an example. So let me remove these dots. Okay, so there my dots are removed. So what I have here is it should be on number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4. Okay? Pretty simple. Now, in between those beats, we have other things. So I'm going to now put my hi-hat in between. So what I have here is a 1 and. Okay? So if you skip this space, you have what you call an and. Don't forget that. Very important. So this first one is called the on beat. The second one is called the offbeat. The and is the offbeat. Very important, especially in African music and African American music or any groovy music. You need to know your on beat and offbeat. So let's hear how that sounds now. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now if I was to remove it, let's hear how it sounds back to normal with just my on beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Now with my ands, put those there, skip a space. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, cool. Now let me remove my ands. Let's take it to the next level. We have our uhs, like the letter A. Okay, so now we have 1 ah, 2 ah, 3 ah, 4 ah. Let's see how that sounds. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 2, a 3. Let me try and slow that down. Let me take it down to like 80 BPM. Okay, let's take that to 80. Put that there. Let's hear how it sounds now. Click back here. A 1, a 3, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, ah. All right, so the uhs are the last square within each beat. So our ands were here, our uhs are here, okay? So now let's try put our ands and our uhs in different places, okay? So in my beat number 1, I have the and there. I have a A in beat number 2, I have an AND in beat number 3, and I'm going to put a in beat number 4. 1 and 2, a 3, a 4. A 1 and 2, a 3 and 4. A 1 and 2, a 3 and 4. A 1 and 2, a 3 and 4. Ah. So this is it can get complicated, but only if you don't understand it. So make sure you know where the ands and uhs are, because here comes one more level. We have R, for those who already know it, which other letter? Our E's. And our E's are right next to the numbers, so where the beat starts. So we call that our E. So 1E, 2E, 3E, 4E. So let's see how that sounds. 1E, 2E, 3E, 4E, 1E, 2E, 3E, 4E, 1E, 2E, 3E, 4E. Okay? Now let's try and put all of them. So we have our 1E and A, 2E and A, 3E and A, 4E and A. Let's hear that. 1E and a, 2E and a, 3E and a, 4E and a, 1E and a, 2E and a, 3E and a, 4E and a. Now I want you to try and repeat it with me. Say 1E and a, 2E and a, 3E and a, 4E and a. 1, 2, 3, let's go. 1E and 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a, take a breath. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Let's spice it up a little bit. Let me make it a 1 and a 2, a. Alright? 1, so I remove the E. So 1 and a, 2, a. 3 and a, so remove that E. 4, a. Okay, so remember, every new shade shows a new beat. So let's see how that sounds. 1 and a 2, a 3 and a 4, a 1 and a 2, a 3 and a 4, a 1 and a 2, a 3 and a 4, a 1 and a 2, a 3 and a 4. Okay, let's try one last one. Let's go 1 and 2, a 3 and 4, a and. Okay, let's try it. A 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, a 3 and 4E. 1 and 2, a 3 and 4E. 1 and 2, a 3 and 4E. So you just have to have your beat going, okay? Because what we're doing is we're creating rhythms, because your beat is just an internal clock that never stops. Your beat is always continuing. And to be a good musician, to be a good dancer, to be good with something that requires movement, even sports, especially sports, you need to have be able to maintain a beat and create rhythms out of it, okay? Just like that. So make sure you fully understand 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, because it is a very, very applicable thing. Every professional musician knows this, and if you know it, then it gives you more power in how to create your music. So that's some of the more micro stuff. Now this is what we're gonna do. We are gonna create 2 different beats with our drum machine, and we are going to create 4 different fills, okay? So whenever you have a drummer, what they're doing is the main stuff they play is the beats. And then whenever they're finishing a bar, they put in a small little fill just to show that a new section of the song is coming. The same way where we would have breaks or drops, we knew that another section is coming. Sometimes we'd use effects, but right now we're thinking like a drummer. So what I want you to do is, so right now these are electronic drum kits. I want you to try and go to an acoustic drum kit. So don't use these pad kits. Go to one of these drum kits up here. And I'm going to use, where is it? Fusion drum kit right over here. And with this Fusion drum, I just like the way it sounds. So let me hear how it sounds. Sounds like a pretty authentic drum kit. But you can use any one. But I just want it to be an acoustic drum kit, which means don't let it be an electric drum kit like an 808 or like one of these. Don't use one of these for now. Just for now. Because I want you to first be able to get this, okay? So I'm going to program my first beat. Let me go to beat A. So I have all these different dots. Let me remove them. Move these dots. And these dots are going to be really helpful, especially in just programming things and trying to replicate them. So let's see what we have here. In our first one, you'll see some numbers. So what these numbers mean is, on your keyboard, you can press those numbers and you will get that sound. So 6, that is known as a crash. There it is, crash symbol. Then 9 is a open hi-hat. All right, right there. I can just press 9. Let's see. So if it doesn't work, just one thing, just make sure you click right over here, okay? Where just this one part over here, and it'll start working. Because if you click here, and then you try and start pressing 6 and 9, it doesn't work. I'm pressing, it's not working. But if I click here, now I can press my numbers. It's fine. So 6 is my crash, 9 is my open hi-hat, O is a closed hi-hat. So you're going to have to see the difference between a closed hi-hat and open hi-hat. C is a clap. Where is it? Oh, I guess it's not working right now. So I'll go G. Oh, I know why it's not working. G. Then I have F. G is my snare, but that's my snare on a rim. So it's called a rim shot, okay? So where would they say it? So the snare edge, same thing, okay? So snare edge, F, there's my actual hit of the snare. My U is my floor tom. My S, that is my kick right there, okay? Now, I do not want, actually, I'm not going to use this for now, so I'm just going to create a basic beat. So let me try and first create a beat with my keyboard, and then I'm going to program it into my drum machine. All right, let's see how that goes. And for now, I'm just going to remove all of this, click it, remove it, click it, remove it, so it doesn't confuse us. So let me try and make a beat that I like. So let me start off with my kick. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let me use some of my hi-hats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now let me bring in my snare. So 1, I'm going to bring in my kick and then my snare. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to put my snare in between. Oh, so it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and my kick is going to be on my 1, 3 and my snare is going to be on my 2, 4. Let's see how that sounds. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E. So let's go. Sorry, that was a mistake. 3, go. 1, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and crash. All right, so now let me put that in my drum machine. So I have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then I'm going to put this on my 1 and my 3 and I'm going to put my snare on my 2 and my 4. Let's see how that sounds. Now, if I want to speed it up, what do I do? Just increase the BPM right here. So let me take it back to 120. So this is our tempo. Yeah, I'm sure you know that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. That's fine. Now, with that, I like the way it sounds. Oh, I just made a mistake. That's on my B. So I want that on my A. So I'll just put that there. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. 1, 3, 2, 4. All right. So that's just my basic drum beat, okay? Now let me try and put it over here. So if I want to add it into the DAW, I'm going to put it as add A. There we go. And now this is very important. Make sure that your settings say your view, or is it? Yeah, view, snap to grid. Make sure it's ticked, because if it's not, let me show you what will happen if it's not ticked. So right now, if it's ticked, I can move from one beat to the other. And so each one of these full settings will be programmed for one whole bar, okay? So I've finished the first bar. Now, if I'm not snapped to grid, this is what will happen. I can press this thing. If I move it, it will just move in between, and that will be a bit of a problem. So, and it won't allow me to get things accurately because I need it to be at the next beat in every bar, okay? So what I'm going to do is just going to click snap to grid, then use my arrows on my keyboard to navigate. So it'll snap every time, and I'll always have everything right, and everything will be fine. All right, so there I have my first drum beat right there. I'm going to add 3 of them. So 1 is already there, 2, then go to the next side, 3, boom. So I have 3 bars worth of my drum beats. Let's see how it sounds. So that's my basic rock beat. Now, just to make it a bit more interesting, I'm just going to go doom cha, doom cha. All right, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's see how that sounds now. All right, that's fine. So we finished 3 bars. On our 4th bar, we're now going to bring in our first fill. So what I want you to do is, I want you to use the letters underneath your main beat to create your fills, okay? So we're going to create 2 fills for pattern A. And this is not complicated, but just make sure you're on the right place. So let's go to C. Click C, it should be blank. And then I want you just to create a fill. Now, there's a document I've attached here because most of us aren't drummers. And even if we were drummers, we still wouldn't really know how this is going to work. So I've attached a file, well, a video that has a person playing 20 different drum beats and 20 different fills. So you can pick whichever you want from there. Or if you feel like, oh, I like this and I just want to put a little extra here, please feel free to do that. That's fine. But take a look at those videos. It will really help you. And he also explains the beats with a 1 while he's playing them, and you'll see it saying 1 and a 2 and E, wherever he writes that. So it can really help you try and program them into your drum machine really easily. So I'm going to create my first fill on C. So boom, doom, doom. Let's see how this will sound. Go there. So right now what I'm using is, this is a mid tom right there. So they call it a high tom, but it's just the 2 toms in between the drum kit. So this one and this one. So I'll call this my mid tom. I'll call this my high tom. Or even he calls it the other way, high tom, mid tom. Okay. Then this is your floor tom. Make sure you know the difference. So watch that video for what is what in the drum kit. All right, so let's see how this sounds. This is my first fill. All right, so let's program that there. Add C. Cool. Let me play that from the beginning. Oh. Make sure you click this one. Yeah. All right, there we go. That's our first 4 bars, has the beat going for 3 bars and the fill on the 4th bar. Let's do the same thing for the next 3 bars. We're gonna have our drum beat again, the same drum beat. So I'm gonna go back pattern A, I'm gonna add it, pattern A again, add it, pattern A, so that's another 3 A's. But now I'm gonna have a second type of fill. And yeah, so we're just gonna have the same drum beat twice and then have its own, let it have 2 different kinds of fills. So let's see. I'm gonna go for a bit more of a classic fill that we'd have over here. So that's gonna be all of these. Let me go here. There's gonna be you'll see what I mean. Let's see how that sounds just before I put it in there. All right, so I'm gonna add E, boom. So I have A with its fill, another A with its E. So let's see how it sounds from here. All right, so let's listen to the whole thing so far. All right, now, so that's been with the same beat here. So make sure you separate the 2 in your mind. You have your beats and your fills. So that's our beat 1, A. And its 2 fills are right underneath it, C and E. Now let's create another beat in B. So I already created something here, so just gonna click on those dots and remove it. And I am going to create, let me see. I'm just gonna use another kind of similar beat. But now I'm going to add in my open hi-hat. So let's see how we can do this. So I'm gonna keep some of those there. Some of my hi-hat, let me add an open here, add an open here. I'm gonna have my kick there. And by the way, don't feel scared to trial and error, because sometimes if you don't like it, then you can easily change it because it's just a dot system. Put in my, let's see how that sounds. In the beginning, it can sound a little bit messy, but then as you get into it, you can see the funkiness behind it. So let's see again. Just like that. And if you if you're looking for a sound that's not there, just click on this and then choose all these different sounds. You can click there, you put a cowbell, snare edge, and if you don't like this kit, just change the kit. Go to a drum kit and look for all these different kits, okay? And then it'll be right there. So there's a lot of freedom in that. So let me put it here. I'm gonna go to bar number 9. I'm going to add B for 3 measures, for 3 bars. I'll use the words measures and bars, but they mean the same thing. All right, so let's hear that from here. Play. All right, just like that. And now, after that, I'm now going to put the fills for my B drum beat on D and F. So our main drum beat is A. We had C and E as its fills. Our second drum beat is B. We're going to have D and F as its fills. So for D, I am going to use, let's see. Let's try kind of like a Japanese style. Dun, 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 dun. But now we can't use notes. We're going to try this rhythm. So, dun, 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 dun. Yeah. So some of you might be like, why is he able to do it so quickly? How is he able to do that? Well, sometimes you just, as a musician, you just pick these things up and you just kind of know where things are supposed to go. So it just comes with experience. So don't worry about it. You're gaining that experience by learning these things, and you'll soon be able to do it really quick. Probably maybe quicker than me and as quick as other drummers, because I'm not a drummer. But with experience it comes. All right, I like it. Let me put that there. All right, so let's see how that sounds. All right. Now I only have 4 more because we're just doing 16 bars. So let me put my B again. So I'm going back to my main drum beat. I'm going to add a B for another 3 bars. And then I'm going to add another fill, which is going to be F. So the fills for B are D and F right underneath it, okay? That's an easy way to be able to picture it. And let me see. So for this one, let me try bring in a bit more energy. Let me make it a strong one. So I'm going to bring in my kick and my crash a couple of times. Doom, doom. Cha, cha. Okay, that's a lot of noise right there. So I'm just trying to finish it on a high. With some floor toms with my crash to really give it a major boost. All right, let's see how that sounds. I'm gonna add it right there. And let's hear my last 4 bars. All right, I like it a lot. Let's hear it from the beginning. So all I have is A is my first drum beat, and then I have it with fill number 1, which is C. Then I have A again, then I go to the next fill, which is E. Then I have B as my second drum beat, then I go to D as its fill, then I go back to B, and then finish off with F. So we have 2 beats, 4 fills, okay? So let's see how that sounds from the beginning. There's my second drum beat. All right, so there we go. We have a solid drummer who's doing his things. There's only one thing that's missing, and that's a bit of some crash. So the crash is really there to punctuate the next section. So remember, in our drops, in our breaks, in our effects, they bring in a new section. They show the end of a previous section. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another track, drum machine. I'm going to make sure it's the exact same one. So I'm going to go Fusion. It doesn't have to be the same one, but this is just to really help with something I want to do. And it doesn't matter which letter I'm going to use. I just want a simple, basic crash, okay? And nothing else, just to help tie everything together. Oops, where is it? Oh, it's over here. My cursor is over there. So let me bring my cursor over here. And then I'm going to click Add C. So I've just put a crash there. C for crash. And so it's going to be, oh, not in the beginning, no. I want it to come after every fill. So right here, I'm going to add C where the next 4 bars start. Then I'm going to add it again over here where the next 4 bars start. Then I'm going to add it over here where the next 4 bars start. Yeah. Oh, I'm missing one my fill over here. What happened? Put it back in. It was F. Wait, something's not right. A, 3A is a C, 3A is a E, 3B is a D, 3B is an F. Yeah, okay, that's right. So let's see how that sounds now with a crash. You'll see how the crash brings in the new section. The whole point of a crash is just to punctuate a new section, okay? So let's hear that from the beginning. Oh, let's click here. Let's go. Here's my first fill. Crash. All right, just like that. And after F, I'm not going to put in a crash since there's already a crash there. So that crash is just there to show the next section. All right, so that's it for today, grade 8s. All I want you to do is put your beats, have two different beats. Beat number 1, put it as A. Beat number 2, put it as B. The fills that you're going to use for beat number 1, put it in C and E, two different fills. And the fills you're going to use for B, put them in D and F, two different fills for B and F. And make sure each beat runs for at least 8 bars, and then you bring in the next beat. Just keep things interesting, but have a different fill every time. Now, we're doing a lot of the work as a producer, because what we're doing is we're producing music. So producers, very famous producers, don't necessarily play all these instruments. So they have people who come in and do it for them, who they will record and then they'll put it in there. Or if they're making music on a DAW like this, they just learn as they go along. So they learn from, okay, how if I want this kind of beat, how do I get it? Let me go Google how to play a hip hop beat, how to play a rock beat, how to play a jazz fusion beat, stuff like that. So I've attached 2 videos. Make sure you watch them so you can gain some ideas on what kind of fills and drum beats you can use. And the whole point of this is to expand your mind musically. Just because you don't play drums does not mean you cannot understand drums. It doesn't mean that you will not be able to understand the different drum beats a drummer uses in different genres. So the power is in your hands. I'm putting it before you. Check out the different drum beats and different drum fills. And when you found them, I want you to click on your lyrics notes, the ones that you're going to use. You can use any that you want. I have no problem. But the person in the video has put a name next to each of those. So I want you to write the name. So let's say for A, I used a basic rock beat. So let me go here. Basic rock beat. Then for C, I used a power of the youth fill. However, you don't have to write the fill, but just make sure you write each letter with what its name was. Let's say for E, I used, which one was it? Was it the Japanese one? Let me check. So, C, that was the Japanese one, and then E was this one. So I'll call that Power of the Youth. So we'll just change that right there. E, then I'll take it up here. And I'll put C, Japanese damage. So just label them so I can be aware that you actually went through Japanese. So that I can be aware that you went through the videos, you knew what drum beat you were looking for, you knew what fill you wanted, you selected them, you put them there. So label them in lyrics notes. I will definitely be looking at this, so do not skip on it, okay? And that is our beginning as a designer. We have just designed some of our beats, and we'll be doing more, and we'll be designing some synth parts. We'll be designing a whole lot of stuff. So make sure you understand this. Post it by Saturday. Please don't be late, and I will see you again next week. Bye for now, grade 8s.